WWE 2K26's DLC is almost finally revealed, and to be quite honest, this is probably the most unorthodox way that they've ever rolled the DLC out. The community was very angry, and now we're at a point where the community is very happy with the DLC because there were some massive additions that were announced. Now obviously, there's still some cons, but the pros, in my opinion, are starting to heavily outweigh the cons. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We are on our way to 25,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys go on ahead and stay tuned for more 2K26 content. Let's get into it. WWE Games started off the day by revealing Brie Bella being back in WWE 2K26, which is an awesome addition in my opinion. We need more women in these games, and they definitely did not stop there. I am super stoked about Brie Bella, especially having the Bella twins back eventually with this game. Nikki got a very massive update in terms of detail to her model in 26, and now Brie Bella is making her way back into the game, and I'm sure they're not gonna fill that model, especially after her response to Nikki's model back in 2K25. So that is most definitely a big W on 2K side for getting that in there, and this is where the tides honestly began to change. Bam Bigelow made his way back to WWE 2K, and obviously we've had him before, and some people were beginning to make the point that, man, a lot of the DLC seems to be in the game a couple years back and then they bring them back as DLC. Honestly, that's what DLC has pretty much always been to me. A lot of the times WWE loses the rights to these wrestlers, then they bring them back and we get to have them back in WWE games. It just is what it is, bro, especially with the gameplay that we have now, which again, I'm going to drop a review very soon for you guys. It's something that does make me excited to get a lot of these wrestlers in because of the way the weapon physics and the game reacts. And so Bam Bigelow, definitely a big one, the beast from the East. And Tory Wilson is finally back in WWE games, which this is something that made many people excited because we've been hoping for Tory Wilson, including myself. So seeing her announce that she's back in WWE games, and we kind of knew because she was teasing with the eyes and everything before the rollout really started getting hot for 2K26. So I thought that personally, this is a great addition to the women's roster, and I think it did make a lot of people happy. You know, whether you are a Divas fan or you're just a Legends fan or you just like the current wrestlers, I genuinely think this is a great addition to the game, and I'm super happy to go on ahead and get this going. And she will be added in season 3, so we want to be on the lookout for that. Season 3 is looking kind of stoked. We got Brian Pillman on there, we got Tory Wilson, we got La Parka, and we got Matt Cardona. So season 3 is actually looking pretty fire. And after Tory Wilson, Kelly made her return to WWE games. And as y'all know, I kept saying her name for a minute now. I am so glad that she's in this game. She is actually a part of season 2. So you got Demolition and Kelly. So at a down point where I felt like I'm not really feeling Demolition, they went ahead and went crazy with Kelly. So that is super exciting in my opinion. And I'm just very happy to get her in the game, especially after 13 years, y'all. I think that this is a massive deal. Many people were excited. You're obviously going to have your haters here and there. I get it. The DLC can't appeal to everybody, but they threw in some very old legends that I ain't rocking with. If you guys want to go on ahead and get mad at me over in the comments, Kelly is in the game, so we'll go on ahead and take that W, ladies and gentlemen. And that didn't stop there. We got Earthquake and Typhoon, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this did not move me one bit. And again, bro, I know before y'all cook me, this is something that I understand the DLC is not going to appeal to me. And I'm just being honest. It's just not moving me. It's not something that really has me super excited. And I feel like that's okay. You know, I'm sure that there are some fans that got excited by this DLC, and that's that. But I'm going to be honest, I ain't playing with Earthquake. I ain't playing with Typhoon. Honestly, they might not even get touched for the DLC review. We're being completely honest, and we keeping it a buck. So just my 2 cents with that. Now let's go on ahead and get to the real nitty gritty, because Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy announced that they are back in WWE games, and this is something that made me excited. This completely switched the tide for me personally, because Jeff Hardy is finally back, and I feel that with the Attitude Era edition, you know, being centered around this and just that tagline, we might see an Attitude Era Jeff Hardy this year, whether it's a Persona card, whether it's the DLC model. I really want to see that, man. I'm not going to lie. We've always gotten Jeff Hardy with the face paint and all that stuff, which again, that is a very nice Jeff Hardy, but I really want to see a Jeff Hardy with no face paint, because you can just throw the face paint on him if you really want to. I feel like that's just my 2 cents, you know what I'm saying? So I really want to see Jeff Hardy Attitude Era version, Matt Hardy Attitude Era version, and maybe a delete Matt Hardy Persona card if 2K feeling up to it. because I really think that these Persona cards are going to get better and better, especially with these characters making it into the game. I do hope Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy are here to stay at this point, especially with the working relationship that they have with TNA. And not to mention, there are still 2 announcements left, y'all. So this is gonna be exciting for these next 2 announcements. And again, it's a very unorthodox release of the DLC, but we're here. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I do want to point out Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy are season 4. I believe that should be dropping around July. So we're not going to be waiting too long. And if you guys know, October is when the DLC goes on ahead and wraps up. So July, man, that'll happen pretty fast. March, April, May, June, July. I mean, we still a bit away. I can't even lie. But I think it's better than waiting for a longer time. They're giving us content over the summer, and that's really all I was hoping for, honestly. And dropping the Hardys during the summer, I think that is perfect timing in my opinion. And just to go on ahead and point out, man, that this DLC has positively switched odds. Like, I feel like you can't really say nothing too crazy at this point. They got the marquee selling point with the Hardys. You got Kelly, Tory Wilson, and they pleasing those women's wrestling fans, and they just going crazy with it. I feel like they doing a little bit of everything. I wasn't really seeing the vision at the beginning, but I do see it now. It feels like they please a little bit of everything, and they're trying to make the audience happy, whether it's with one character or another. I do still feel that AAA was still overdone in my opinion. I don't think that we need this many AAA characters, because we still have Lady Shani and we have Octagon Jr. I mean, I can go on and on about all that. There's still tons of AAA wrestlers that I thought should have been base game instead of being spread out throughout the DLC, because right now it just feels like a bunch of randomness in these packs. And again, that's not a bad thing, because you're pleasing a little bit of each audience. My 2 cents, honestly, man. I really am excited for 26's DLC content now, because I feel like this year is going to be full of pack surprises. And again, there's still 2 announcements left. And Danhausen just recently made his WWE debut, and Royce Keys debuted at the Royal Rumble. Now, we haven't seen him since, but what are the odds that he could be that DLC too? We've seen 2K go out their way and get wrestlers that shouldn't probably be in the game because of the cycle and the way the cuts work, and they get them in through expansion packs and DLC and however else they do it. I really don't put this past them. And if Royce Keys somehow, some way gets announced for the game, I am personally going to be very excited. I know that right now we are looking at 24 wrestlers, but we are also looking at multiple Persona cards and multiple rewards for the Ringside Season Pass. And one thing to point out with that is I'm not the biggest, fan of some of these characters that are in the DLC packs, so it is giving me a different perspective at still being excited for the potential Persona cards that we are going to see. So just my 2 cents with that, man. I really do think that the Ringside Pass may not be as bad, especially if it stays at the point that it's at right now with the way you grind it and the way you play it. Just my 2 cents, man. If you guys want help with the Ringside Pass, tips and tricks, all that good stuff, make sure to go on ahead and check out my latest video, because that one is going crazy at the moment and people are finding it to help them tons. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.